Hi, friend. Happy New Year. Well, it's 2025, and what I want to do today is show you the power of using habits and focus on the right metrics to crush your sales target this year. I think if you would look on the 31st of December 2024, you're just setting ambitious targets for yourself. This year, this is what I'm going to accomplish. And you're really motivated and you're ready to crush it. But 3 months down the line, we see that 92% of people who make New Year's end resolutions, the motivation is fading and then nothing happens. So 92% of people don't get to the objectives they give themselves on the 31st of December. So if I told you that your sales goals don't have to be part of that statistics, and instead of relying on motivation, you should build a system that makes success almost inevitable. I recently read a book from James Clear called Atomic Habits, which I highly recommend. And what he's talking about is the power of habits and how habits are the compound interest of self-improvement, and that small changes lead to big results over time. And so his whole premise is that you don't need to set goals, you need to set systems. You don't need to imagine yourself running the marathon in 4 months, but it's about how do you plan the training and then execute the training in order to be fit to run the marathon. It's not rocket science, not at all. Unfortunately, we tend to put goals for ourselves and imagining ourselves doing things, but we don't put a system in place, which makes that even though we would go to the gym to practice, let's say to the marathon example. So I have 3 times per week that I would go training. Well, I've put in my calendar the first 3 weeks, and the first week I'm doing 3 times. The second week, well, I'm a bit tired on the second day, so I will not go. I will only go on the third day. And on the third week, well, I can only go one day. So, but you know what? I'll pick it up later. And then it goes wrong. I think we have always been through those kind of things. And so if you are able to build systems in place, you will be able to execute that in a constant way, being able to get to your goals. And you could think about your morning routine, for example. You probably don't think whether you brush your teeth every day. It's automatic. And what if prospecting, reaching out to clients would be pretty much the same as brushing your teeth? If you would do it and following it up, closing deals would be just as natural. At least that's the goal. And that's really the power of habits in sales. So when James Clear talks about habits being the compound interest of self-improvement, he's just describing what we do in sales, which is small, consistent actions compounded to a remarkable result. A great example he shares is the story from the British cycling team back in 2003. So in 2003, the British cycling team was probably one of the worst in the world, or at least not worst in the world, but they were nowhere. They were underperforming. Manufacturers didn't want to sell them bikes because they didn't want their bikes to be driven by a bad team. That's how bad they were. And so what the British Federation did, they hired Dave Brailsford. And what he did as the head coach for the team is to work on the aggregation of marginal gains. And his whole idea is that if we can improve every day by 1%, and we find 1% improvement in everything, the team would become way, way, way better. And so they looked at every single detail. So it was about optimizing the bike seats, making sure that they feel comfortable. They put alcohol on the wheels to make sure that they have some good grip. They tested different kind of massage gels to see which one are providing the better recovery. And they even painted their trucks white so that you could see when there was dust, which could impact the performance of the bike. The result is really impressive because within 5 years, they dominated the Olympics. Within a decade, they won 178 World Championships and 5 Tour de France victories. So let's get back to what we do. So if, let's say in sales, you improve yourself 1% every day, At the end of the year, you get this compound effect, which makes you 37 times better by year's end. So think about that. So you are one, and by improving just 1% every single day, because it compounds, you get it 70 times better. And what it is that we're not telling you, hey, you need to double the number of calls you make, you need to improve the quality of everything, single thing you do, but you just go to 1% for every single day in specific areas of what you're doing. So my tip to you for this year would be to really stop focusing on just one big goal, but break it down into very tiny aspects and look at where can I improve myself in every routine. And if you're able to do it, I'm sure you will be able to get actually to what the British cycling team did. And having those small choices and small effects bring you to bigger success. And one of the areas you can do it is by leveraging AI or leveraging any other tool that you have at your disposal. But I think the first point is set your goal clear and look at which area can I improve every day. And maybe start today by putting a system in place that would say, okay, well, every day I will spend 10 minutes prospecting, 10 minutes reaching out to my existing clients or to new clients. I will be improving the quality of my proposals. I will be improving the quality of the calls that I make. So there is hope. It's going to be a tough year. I can imagine sales is always being tough, and it's tougher every year, but I'm sure we'll all do great things. Thanks for tuning in. I wish you a fantastic day and see you in the next one. Bye.